went and got naked, but this weird ass dude didn't even get the photos. Hey Glamazons, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Siren, aka Glamazon with 3 Z's. Okay, so we just about to get straight into it. This is gonna be a get ready with me / story time thing. It's Sunday, June 31st. So tomorrow will be the 1st of July. Anyway, so me and my friends, we wanted to go to brunch today. But the place we wanted to go to, we found it doesn't open up until 4:30. So that didn't quite happen. So we're still gonna go to the place at 4:30. It's like this rooftop lounge in Berkeley. I'm so excited. This beautiful weather, food, friends, you know, it's gonna be fun. But anyway, so I'm gonna do a little story time with y'all. How does that sound? Okay, let's do it. So, you know, when I first started modeling, it was like maybe like 2009, 2010, right? And around that time, you know, people, or I guess models, they were, you know, they were building their portfolio with the trade, the TF, you know, if you know, you know. Trade, for those who don't know, like TF or, you know, trade for prints, it was basically outlining your compensation. So it would be, people would have, oh, looking for models, TF for prints, which is trade for prints, or trade for compensation, or, you know, trade for monetary compensation, or trade for time. You know, basically, you were basically, as a model, you were trading your time, and also as a muse for the photographer, so they can get photos for their portfolio, and you can also get photos for your portfolio as a model. So around that time I was doing that. I was getting trying to build up my portfolio, and at the time there was a website called Model Mayhem. If you know, you know. So if you modeled before, it was basically like a Myspace for models, but it was called Model Mayhem. I don't even know if it still exists. As a matter of fact, I need to actually see if it's still up there. It was Model Mayhem. It's like a Myspace for models. You know, like it would basically have, you know how MySpace will, if you're a millennial and you're watching this video, then you know how MySpace layout was. You know, it had the photo, and then would have your little bio, whatever quote you wanted to say right there. And then as you scroll down, you know, it might have your top 5. But instead of there, like, it would have your photos, like your portfolio, your model photos of your portfolio. And then down there, it would also have the comments too, like on MySpace. Except it would say something along the lines of like, hey, it was nice working with you. Hey, would love to shoot soon, blah, blah, blah. Or hey, you know, it was nice meeting you and working with you. We should do it again soon. You know, stuff like that, like networking stuff. You could see all the comments, and they were public. Like, you'd be able to see if you went to their page. Anyway, so getting on there, that was where like I found a lot of photographers to get started on my portfolio, right? You know, to do trade, because I didn't have no money to pay for no photos. You should be doing that anyway if you're first starting out modeling. So the thing about it is there's reputable photographers on there, but at the same time, there's just guys with cameras on there too. And, you know, let me define what a guy with a camera is. It's basically a guy with a camera. Like, it's just that, like, it's a guy with a camera, no really sense of, you know, photography, doesn't really take photography seriously. You know, he's basically just a guy with a camera who says he's a photographer, but really, he might be taking those photos of girls, you know, for different reasons. Who knows? Like, for his own pleasures, you know. So basically, yeah, he was a guy with a camera, not a real photographer. But anyway, there's a mixture of those on there, but there was also reputable photographers on there. Anyways, this is way back in the day. Oh my gosh, I make myself sound so old. But anyway, this was probably sometime between like 2009, 2011, somewhere in there. I was just starting out, you know, trying to get my portfolio going and everything. And I had this meeting with this guy. And he claimed, you know, he was a photographer, plus he also was like an agent in a way. Like, he, you know, he had a roster of girls and also had clients too who may, you know, who may want those girls for, you know, whatever projects they may have, right? And his website, like, he had a website and everything. He was on Model Mayhem, and to be honest with you, I really don't even remember his name. He had, you know, people on his page leaving good reviews and this and that. It was cool, like, and at the time, you know, like I said, I was young, but I wasn't dumb. Like, I always made sure to look at the reviews, look at people's comments, see what people said about a certain guy, look at his work to make sure, like, okay, this is legit. Like, I wasn't stupid. You know, he had a roster of girls and this and that, and, you know, we made up the arrangement for me to come meet him, right? I was like, okay, like I said, I didn't get any bad vibes from him at all. Like, I'm really good at reading people, but, you know, at the same time, you never really know these days. So yeah, we made arrangements to meet and everything. And y'all, I met him at his house. And you know what, like, this was so long ago, like, I don't even remember what city he was in. I know it was like maybe like 45 minutes from me at the time, but it wasn't like, it wasn't hella far. But I can't even tell you what city it was. I do remember like what his house looked like and everything, and like what the scenery looked like outside and everything, but I don't even remember what city. I remember the car I had to at the time. My little scraper. Anyway, so I get there and I go in his house, and I don't get any bad vibes from him at all. Like, it seems legit. You know, he has like the setup, the nice little setup, you know, in his little studio slash room, you know, for models, and, you know, a real camera and everything. And like, I came in like pretty basic. Like, I came in like a I made sure to wear lingerie underneath. No, was I wearing lingerie or a swimsuit? I think it was like really subtle lingerie, like just plain black, like bra and panties. Because you know, we already mentioned that, you know, we would be doing the two-piece and then also like my casual clothes that I had on. Anyway, so we did the casual clothes or whatever, and then it kind of like transitioned into like kind of an interview in a way. So when we got done, you know, we went out to his living room. We sat at this, I remember sitting at like this dining room table or kitchen table or something like that. And you know, he was basically, you know, asking me what, you know, what experience I had and what, you know, I was wanting to achieve in the modeling industry and this and that, you know, what kind of work I was doing. I was telling him that, and he was like telling me like, oh, okay, like, oh yeah, so, you know, you seem like a really good, you know, you seem like a really good candidate. You look like you know what you're doing, you know, from seeing the work that you have so far. And I was like, okay, this is cool. And but he also mentioned, he was like, okay, so I have clients, you know, who, you know, they might want girls for, you know, swimsuit. They might want girls for, you know, lingerie or whatever. And, you know, I make sure that my girls are comfortable with that. And you said you were comfortable with that, right? And I was like, yeah, I am. You know, I have no problem doing that. But I didn't say nude. He didn't say nude. I didn't say nude. I never said I was okay with nude. And I was not okay with nude. FYI. He's like, so there's nothing against you, but I do have had many situations where a lot of models, they actually go meet with the client, like they go on set and meet with the client, and they're supposed to, you know, maybe do like a lingerie shoot or, you know, a swimsuit shoot. Like, it's basically, you're basically showing, you know, showing different parts of your body, you know, your arms, midriff, legs, all that. You know, you don't have regular clothes on. And prior to the shoot, you know, they'll say, and this is me talking to him, prior to the shoot, they'll say, oh, okay, I'm okay with doing this. But when they get there, you know, it's like, oh no, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, blah, 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 blah. At the time he was saying this, it wasn't really registering to me like, okay, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe your clients are making your girls feel uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't really remember what I was thinking at that moment. But he told me that, and I was like, oh, okay, well, and then I was like, gonna reassure him that, like, okay, well, I mean, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. You know, I was gonna reassure him, like, hey, if you're actually telling me what I'm gonna do, I can either agree or not agree. And so if I do agree, that means I'm gonna follow through and do it. So I basically told him something along the lines of that. And he was like, okay, I completely understand that, but, you know, he didn't say I have trust issues. He didn't say it like that. But he was just like, you know, this is kind of just, you know, something for me to, you know, have to cover my back and know that my models are actually going to be doing what they say they're going to do when they get there on set and this and that. And he was like, I'm going to need you to take off your clothes. And he didn't say it in that way. He didn't say those exact words. But he basically said it in a way like, you know, I'm going to need you to prove to me, like, hey, you know, you're comfortable with being, you know, in your lingerie, shooting, you know, this and that, and, you know, moving around, and you're comfortable with it. And, you know, at that moment, I was like, okay. And I think he saw my emotion too. Like, I was just like, okay. And he was like, yeah, I know it sounds weird. I'm not trying to say I don't trust you, but this is just, you know, to cover my ass, you know, because, you know, I'm sitting here getting these girls for these clients, and, you know, they're not doing what they said they're gonna do, you know, which looks bad on them, but also obviously looks bad on me. And I was like, okay, you know, like the way he said it, I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. So, like I said, we're sitting at this, like, it was like a dining room table or like, you know, like a kitchen table. And he's sitting on one side and I'm not on the opposite side, but I'm like, he's here and I'm right here. So I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. And I thought it was so weird at the time. And let it be known, y'all, like, I'm 22, 23. And like I said, I'm not dumb. But, you know, the way he said it, I was like, okay, well, whatever. Plus, like, this was my first year of modeling, you know. I was like, okay, sure. So my semi-dumbass, and letting me know, you know, like I said, we had planned to do like a shoot in the lingerie, like just to see how I worked in front of the camera and everything. Like it wasn't like I had planned on taking my clothes off anyway. That sounds weird, but I had planned on taking my clothes off anyway. But it was just like the situation, me getting up from the table and me taking my clothes off because that's what he said. So he's like, yeah, basically I'm gonna have to see that you can do it. And I'm like, oh, now? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. So like I said, I get up and I, you know, take my shoes off, whatever shoes I had on, take off my pants, take off my shirt, and I was just standing there. I was like, okay. I was like, all right. He's like, okay, thank you. And now I also have clients who, you know, they may want you to take off a little bit more, not necessarily be nude, but what did they call it? Conceal? Is it conceal nude? I think that's what it's called. Concealed nude photography or something like that. And I don't remember me mentioning that I was comfortable with that. But anyway, he was just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to make sure that you are okay with that. So you're gonna have to take off, you know, your bra and your panties, like right now. And I was like, what? This is why I say I wasn't dumb, y'all. Like, you know, I might be a little naive here and there, but I was like, wait, what? I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not doing that. That's not what I came here to do. It was here for an interview and to shoot. I'm not about to get naked in front of you. I never said I was okay with nude. And he was like, well, you know, this is kind of something that all my girls have to do in order for me to trust them and know that they're gonna, you know, do what they say they're gonna do. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. I don't think this is for me. Like, I'm gonna go. And he was like, okay. Like, he didn't have any pushback or anything at all. There was no pushback. And see, this is why I can't even do this get ready with me in story time. I'm sitting here telling the story. I can't even do my makeup. But this is something, you know, they have to do, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, this isn't for me. But I'm gonna go, you know, have a good day, blah, blah, blah. While I'm doing that, I'm, you know, putting my clothes back on, putting my shirt on, putting my shoes on, this and that, and the whole time, I'm just kind of watching him out of the corner of my eye just to like try to make sure like he doesn't pull anything, you know. So like I said, I wasn't dumb. I just was a little naive in here and there sometimes, but I wasn't dumb. And I grabbed my bag and I was like, you know, thank you for your time, blah, blah, blah. And I walk out and I think back and I'm like, I remember turning my back to him as I was walking to the door. And I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have, like, you know, tried to like continue to talk to him as I'm walking out the door just to make sure I have an eye on him. I made it out the house. And I remember, you know, opening the door and stepping out. I'm like, well, you know, have a good day. He's like, and he had like this disappointed look on his face. He was like, all right, have a good day. Like I had made some like big mistake or something. Like I was like dumb for even doing that or wasting his time. Like, bitch, you wasted my time. Like the f. So that's why I say he was basically a guy with the camera. He was not over here, because I was like, you know, this just don't make any sense. Because I had time to think after that. Like, it just made no sense to me. You know, I think back and I'm like, I probably should have said something or posted something about him on my Mayhem, but I didn't. I wasn't really thinking like that then. I was just like, well, this dude is weird. I'm glad I didn't, you know, deal with that or whatever. I got out of that when I could, and I was just sad. Like, I wasn't thinking like, because I didn't really feel like in any danger, you know. I feel like if I was in danger, then yeah, for sure I would have like posted on my Mayhem to let everyone else know, like, hey, watch out for this guy. I look back and I'm like, Taryn, like, nobody knew where I was either. Nobody knew where I was. I thought I was grown. You know, anything could have happened. So, yeah. I would say it's a lot different now, but there still are guys out there too who are predators and will definitely try to take advantage of you. So that's never changed. I don't think that's ever really going to change, unfortunately. So if you go to a shoot, go on a shoot alone, make sure that somebody knows where you at. You know, somebody, a few people, who cares? You know, at least let one person know where you're at. And somebody should have known where I was at. And I did a lot of gigs like that too. But that one, that was just like the weirdest modeling experience I ever went through. Like everything after that, like I made sure it was legit, and it definitely was legit, because I wasn't even trying to do, I wasn't trying to do anything that made me feel uncomfortable, anything that wasn't legit, you know. So anything I did after that, I just made sure it was cool, like for sure, before I even wasted my time driving there. because I was serious about it. I need to also check to see if Model Mayhem is even still a thing. If that website even still exists. I feel like it does. I feel like I looked it up like maybe 2 years ago, but I mean a lot could change in 2 years too at the same time too. So I don't know. I went and got naked. No, I'm playing. I got halfway naked for this weird ass dude. Didn't even get the photos. Yeah, that's another thing. I didn't even get the photos, like the test photos of me in my regular clothes. Like, and then we didn't even shoot, you know, in the lingerie. Definitely wasn't gonna shoot after having that conversation. Oh man. Ooh, good times. Another thing I've been recently thinking about too is like goals things I want to do this summer, and it's super small right now, super small, but a couple of things are like, you know, I would love to go to a paint and sip. I want to go to a rooftop lounge. I want to go fruit picking. I've been wanting to go fruit picking for like the past 2-3 months. I just haven't gone, but I think I'm gonna try to go this summer. Actually, no, I'm not gonna think. I am gonna do it. Like I said, these are little goals or things I want to do. Like I want to go to rooftop lounge, which I'm actually doing today, and I want to go fruit picking. I want to go to a play. I don't know. There was a play going on in Sacramento, but I think it's over now. I'm pretty sure they'll have something else coming up too. I'm gonna go to a play. Hold on, y'all. I actually made a list. Okay, so I got my list. So I said I want to do the rooftop, which I'm doing today. I'm gonna go fruit picking. I should pick my outfit for that too, by the way. I want to go thrifting, and when I say thrifting, like I want to go to a few new thrift shops. I want to go to escape room. I've been wanting to go to one for a while now. I've been to some in the past too, but you know, I really want to go to one. Like I haven't been to one recently. And then I want to take a Pilates class too. I've never done Pilates. I definitely know it's not for the faint of heart, but you know, I'm naturally an athlete, so you know, I think I can do it. And then I want to finish reading The Alchemist. Y'all, like, so one of my goals this year was to read more, which I have been doing a lot more, but I'm just like, I feel like, okay, you know what, I need to finish a book. Because like I've been rotating between a few books, but I'm like, okay, I need to just focus and like say, okay, I want to finish reading this book by the end of summer. You know what I mean? So that's like my little summer goal list. You know, if you guys have any that you are, you know, focusing on for this summer or even like for the rest of the year, let me know. Let's talk about it. I just need to do my lips and get my outfits. I'll see you in a second. Oh, did I tell y'all I got tickets to see Tems? I had to say that real quick. I'm so excited. So excited. Alright, y'all, so here's my outfits. We got the red glasses and then the TLC crazy sexy cool vibe going on, and then my white sandals or whatever, and I got this white purse too, but I think, I don't know, I mean it's cute for the aesthetic or whatever, but I mean I think I might just change it because it's a bit too small for me. But anyway, let's go.
I have a table with a...
Will you guys get a picture of me?
Oh, somebody got all the ice.
There you go. And pink.
Thank you.
2 gummy bears. Here you go.
Thank you.
No, just cheers. It's like, nah.
One more time.
Yeah. I can't eat that.
Oh my gosh.
He like screams when I'm like not next to him, so I have.
Underneath is always so pretty. The top is just like blah. Girl, my hair texture is so weird too. At the bottom it's like straight, like straighter. Yeah. And then up here it's more curly. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because you like look at it and it's a weird texture. It's not the same texture as the word. Oh, you hear me? Yeah.